Yo, what up? We back with another edition of CT's RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And I was just sitting here thinking about how badly prison reform is needed. You know, what strung that thought along was the fact that I was talking to one of my homies. He had called in from Carl Robinson, the homie Dipset. Had him on the show maybe a few weeks ago or something. And he was just telling me about, the circus that he live in and the clowns that be performing there. And the biggest performers, be the guards. It's not even what you would think, like inmates. It's the guards, and he was telling me how he was like, Wes, because I was just at that jail. I was just there with him. So he was like, Wes, you remember Officer, whatever the dude name is? I didn't remember the dude until after he described. I never knew the dude's name. That's why once he said the name, I'm like, nah. But he described the dude to me. I'm like, yeah, I remember him. He like, yo, dude was in here performing the other day so bad. Like, he invited the dude to fight. Officer invites an inmate to fight him. Took his shirt off and put his walkie-talkie down and all of this. For what? What kills me is they be hiring these wannabe thugs. And these dudes come in, and first of all, after he told me the dude he was talking that he was talking about, after he explained who it was, I'm like, first of all, homie ain't even built like that. So he just be trying to talk like he is and walk like he is and act like he is. But I can see that it ain't authentic, you know what I mean? So he like, yeah, but he got that badge. And that's what a lot of them hide behind, And it has to be somebody to hold them accountable for their actions. Because, first of all, he wasn't provoking my man. My man was just telling me, like Dipset was telling me that he was doing this to another inmate. So God forbid, Dipset probably would have been in the box because everybody ain't ready for that test, I was glad that I was never put to that test because I probably would have failed too. And the sad part is it's a lose-lose situation. So you clowning around, taking your shirt off, acting like you want to fight this man that's locked up, got a lot of stress and a lot of other nonsense going through his head. And the second he put his hands on you, he loses. It ain't like he got a fair one. I mean, I remember when I was in the gang block and we're in ourselves for a majority of the day, 23 hours. So a lot of our communication is done yelling either in the sink, in the vent, or blatantly just yelling out the door to somebody else, yo, pull up. And then they'll come to their door, and that's how you tell them what you want to tell them. You yell a man's name out, you go to your door, you scream your head off until the man hear you. And when he say, yo, what up? You tell him, yo, pull up. Because a lot of times, dudes like me, I hear somebody calling me, and I yell from my bed. I don't even get up. I'm like, yo, what up? I'm on my bed yelling, what do you want, man? And he's like, yo, pull up. So now I get up, go to my door, what? He tell me what he got to tell me. So I had done that, and every 30 minutes, an officer has to do what they call a tour, meaning they got to walk. The block is basically a big square, and they got to walk the whole block with their flashlight and look in everybody's cells and make sure everybody's alive and breathing. That was basically it. So the officer happened to be doing his tour, and I'm talking to somebody through their door. And I can't even remember what the conversation was about. But whatever, I remember calling him like a derogatory term out of his name, you know. And the officer just happened to be walking past my door when I said it to him. So he kind of like stopped and backpedaled back and was like, "What did you call me?" So since I wasn't even talking to him, I'm like, "I didn't call you nothing." So the dude like was like, "Yeah, that's what I thought. You guys are a bunch of cell gangsters and pussies in this gang block anyway." And I'm like, whoa. Obviously, first of all, you don't know me. So I waited till I got my 1 hour to come out. And I approached him like a man. I said, "Yo, can I ask you a question?" And he didn't even remember. This was maybe hours ago, 4 or 5 hours ago. So he didn't even remember what he had said. So I'm like, "Yo, earlier you had came by my cell and you said some tough guy shit about how we're all cell gangsters or whatever." I said, "But what I don't understand is how fast y'all be quick to say that about us. I'm a cell gangster, I'm a punk, I'm whatever you want me to be. But I can't get a hand-to-hand combat with you. I put my hands on you right now. You're going to hit that button and have 25, 30 of your little officers come and help you. I got to fight all 25 of y'all. So since I'm smart enough to know that I can't beat 25 men, that makes me a cell gangster or a punk or a pussy, like you said." I said, "But I'm here talking to you like a man. I don't need 25, 30 other people. I could back up what I say myself. So who's really the cell gangster? Who's really the punk or the pussy?" And the dude got mad, made me lock up too. The other CO that was with him, he knew like, I don't really be giving nobody no problem. So he was like, "Smith, just let it go, man." He was kind of cool. I was kind of cordial with him. So he's like, "Smith, just let it go." Because the dude was like, "Yo, go lock up. I don't like your temper. You're flaring up." Something crazy. He said, "You're flaring up." So I'm like, "I'm flaring up? I'm saying here, talking to you like a man. I'm not going to yell. You said what you said. I was on the other side of the door when you said that. And the door was locked. And you called me a cell gangster or whatever when I wasn't even talking to you. I waited till I came out because I want to look you in your eye and say what I say to you." But my point being is, they be quick to provoke you to put yourself in a worse predicament. Like I said, it ain't like I could say, "All right, well, give me a head up," and we fight one-on-one and may the best man win. You know that ain't gonna happen. I gotta fight you and every other officer in this block. So why is you even provoking me? Like, I don't know if... Yeah, I did tell y'all the story about the dude had tried to slam the door. He tried to say something slick to my homie as they was passing out the trays. And he tried to slam the door so hard, but my homie had his foot in the door, so it hit his foot and bounced right back open. And my homie grabbed him, dragged him in that cell, closed the door, and gave him the business. That dude was in there hitting that button. The CO, the female CO that was working, hit that button. They had every CO in that block come and beat this man while he was cuffed. That was the craziness. Like, bad enough he got to fight 40 of y'all, but he got to fight y'all. He ain't cuffed behind his back. Dude left out of there one way, came back with a broken shoulder, broken arm in a sling. They whooped him because he was provoked, because the CO provoked him. So my thing is, like, they have no problem giving us our punishment when we can't take no more and we explode on them. But who's there to hold them accountable for their actions? I don't know if when you get hired, they tell you, come in here and act like a fake thug or some type of tough guy to these guys, and that's the best way to get your point across, because that's definitely not what it is, you know? And that's only going to create more problems. And that's why I believe, like, I don't know what, because I'm not really, I'm not a political dude, you know? Before I started this show, I was in prison, and before I was in prison, I was a drug dealer. So it ain't like I know the answers, you know what I mean? I know what needs to be done, but I'm still trying to find my way, you know? And if somebody out there knows what to do or what can be done, I'm all ears, you know, because I'm not there anymore, but I'm not one of them dudes that's just going to say, okay, that's behind me and forget about all that happened and forget, because there's still dudes there going through that. So, and the circumstances and the living situation, all that ain't right. We're not animals. So why would you treat us like that? It's as simple as not even respecting us enough to give us showers all the time when we need them. Like, you got some jails, I understand, like when I was in the Supermax and I was a threat member, you only get showers 3 times a week. Okay, if that's the rules, that's the rules. But then you got officers that, I'm having a bad day today, so no showers today. So bad enough we only get three showers a week. You just knocked that down to 2 this week because you got an attitude about something. And it shouldn't be that easy to just do what you want to do to other human beings, because at the end of the day, they're in prison because they made a mistake, but they all human beings. And I'm going to continue trying to be the voice for these people that's still going through that. Because God forbid, that prison is always one trip away. I did a show saying things could always get worse and trying to explain that. Like, I could step out of this door tomorrow and mistaken identity and I'm back in prison fighting the case, you know, back in them situations. So that's why I never just turn my back on where I came from and forget where I came from and forget my living situations and how things are in there. Especially not when I know it's still thousands of brothers all over the world that's still going through it, fighting this struggle. So I'm just going to be the brother that I'm not in there no more, but the fight ain't over. Not for me, you know. I'm going to continue exposing what need to be exposed. I'm going to continue shedding light where it's dark at. I'm going to continue being a voice for the people that feel they no longer have a voice. And if anybody out there got any words that may help, any advice that may help, any direction that they could lead me to, try me. And I'll show you how serious I am about this, you know? So, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me. Show me some love. Follow me on Instagram at wes.smith.129. And until next time, peace.